that's my father. It was... You could never tell that he read the chapter before this. Not with that reaction.
Why are you... Every time I look over, you're more messed up.
The sea spray from our ship. Oh, I got it all over you. Oh, no.
Even if we were on a ship, it looks like we're in the cabin. How would we get sea spray?
Just laughing at his...
It's the green...
No, I meant to do that.
It's the grand line. You don't know what weather patterns are going to come. Water spray. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chapter 1063, the only family I've got. Our reaction to the chapter all together. So, let's get started with our awesome cover story. Germa 66's Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 21, Pudding's Been Kidnapped. Who called it? Who called it?
I don't remember.
A lot of us.
I think collectively we
Come on.
Did we actually call Pudding being kidnapped?
I literally said, I think people agreed though too. That like, oh shit.
Oh, you did. You were the one that called. They're trying to take
If Aokiji is here, freezing Chocolate Town, a certain pudding is Gonski's.
And if he works for Blackbeard, clearly, he probably wants her poneglyph reading powers.
100%.
Well,
Anyway.
shit. Now my reaction videos, because for some reason I thought Germa kidnapped her. And I was like, aw, Germa kidnapped her to give her back to Sanji.
Dude, Judge and kids off to the laugh tale. That could be a fun little cover story.
That'd be interesting if that's what happened.
Dude, it could be another misdirect. Another one.
They actually kind of maybe sort of, well, Riju felt bad for fucking over her brother.
She did.
And she talked to the other three into logically thinking this is the right thing to do. Kidnap Pudding and deliver her to the brother that we hate.
See, this is the interesting bit about having ideas outside of all coming together, because then we're all like, assimilating, but before it's like, ooh, crazy dots, crazy dots, crazy dots. Look out for those. Anyway, Cracker got full-on destroyed. My dude is a frozen cracker.
Anybody ever eaten a frozen cracker before?
I was trying to think of something funny to say, but I just...
ice cream sandwiches, technically.
Ooh!
But that's a cookie.
He's a snow cone boy. Anyway, Brulee's really, really sad. Interesting that they left Brule unfrozen. Aokiji's a gentleman? Question mark?
Or maybe Brule was hiding in the mirror world.
Aokiji's into...
What if that's what caused all of this, babe?
Whatever Brulee's got going on?
No!
Oh, that's a penis joke. I'm going to zoom in on it right here. Anyway.
Yeah, you didn't see behind, I pointed to Cracker's head and was just like...
And that's why
And I'm like, it's...
No, it is...
Dickhead.
It's a very mushroomy look there.
Anyway.
Also, is it just me, or does Pudding seem to have two silhouettes on either side?
Yeah, because it's the people who kidnapped her.
First we saw their shoes, now we see their shoulders.
Well,
not me thinking she grew wings.
Oh, shoot! Oh, dude. She's a seraphim. Pudding seraphim confirmed. You heard it here first, folks.
What is this start?
With that, well, dude, Oda just does great cover stories, doesn't he? With that, let's move into the chapter itself. So, we got some fat fools after their wonderful little luncheon.
Got some fat motherfuckers.
Delish.
Let's keep it, everybody.
I bet they'll love all the food machine. Oh, except maybe Sanji. Good point, Chopper. Brock, you.
You guys sure can eat. All four of you have bulging bellies.
Mine was already like that.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Dude, Jinbei with the dad jokes, man.
He would be the One Piece dad.
Dude, he is.
Yes.
So we get a little look at the recycle cur. This little dog that's just chomping up the leftover bits.
Well, I ought to get back to work. If I don't run riot, no one will.
Off she jets.
That is Bonnie speaking there.
What kind of job is that? Who are they? I think it's safe to assume they're lab assistants of some kind.
Odd. This place seemed deserted a second ago. Were they hiding because they weren't sure about us?
Isn't it a little hot for those outfits?
No way, for real? I believe that's Chopper.
Whoopee!
Whoa, these clothes feel so light. And they're nice and breezy, too.
Where did you get those? To be fair, I love the fit, except the boots.
The
Yeah,
boots.
that's fair.
The boots are stupid on
Luffy,
Luffy.
not in sandals, man. It's not my Luffy.
Nah, exactly. Here! As he munches on a piece of meat.
Nothing beats free clothes after a complimentary meal. Dude, Bonnie has such Nami energy,
Yeah.
I swear.
Well, Bonnie is just like full thirst trap in this chapter.
She's
Oh,
kind of like
man.
she's like a weird Nami Luffy.
I was thinking the
mesh.
same thing. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It's
Which
interesting.
Which is why
Last
Nami might be the
sentence?
perfect girl for Luffy.
no.
Mine still feels sticky from all that seawater. It'd be nice to change. Style selection? How about a battle uniform? Hey, I can undress myself! Whew, these are light. The boots make me feel like I'm floating.
Love that outfit on her.
No, it looks great.
I also
seen
just
Jinbei,
love
though.
Jinbei.
Jinbei just wears full.
They even have tropical styles. This would make for perfect disguises, but it's probably too late for that.
It's so futuristic. And Chopper in fucking goggles and
He's so cute.
look at him. I love that fit.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, Jinbei found a button that said "Dad" and just booped.
Yeah, most
Seriously.
likely. Anyway.
All right. Well, I'm off to find some weapons and deal with Vegapunk. Catch you later.
Heads up. It's Kuma.
Puma.
Is it just me? Or is he looking for us?
And we get police, Kuma.
Where are the minority?
Is that a Puerto Rican boy I see?
Brazilian, but thanks.
Whatever.
Racist Judge Dredd.
Sorry. Oh, man.
Let's get out of here. He's about to charge.
He sees
Minority spotted.
and he is dashing, opens his mouth for a laser beam.
Okay, I thought has anybody seen the laser collection on YouTube? Because I thought that this was a reference to that. Because the joke is always, I'm a fire in my laser.
Oh, wait, is that from Nappa when he does it to the in the forehead?
Well, so yeah, that was a reference to that
Yes!
video.
Oh, wonderful.
Anyway, he's gonna fire his laser beam.
Okay, Brock, I think you should play.
Provisions and garments reported stolen. Thieves detected.
Huh? That stuff wasn't free.
Bonnie just looking awfully horrified. Let's see. Okay.
Luffy, maybe?
Then why did he just pop out like that?
Surely the damage he's causing is worse than what we did.
Is he trying to kill us?
That's a bit harsh for theft.
We'll be toast if we don't fight back.
Yeah, it's just self-defense. Then again, we are pirates. Hostile hosts come with the territory.
Still Jinbei on the either way.
Either way, we've got no choice.
Gomu Gomu no!
He raises his fist big
Ah!
ol' stop! And kicks him in the face! Bonnie can kick, man. Ugh. A big old blast.
What the heck, Bonnie? Didn't you see his lasers? I've gotta slug him!
I love how Luffy actually got her name right when he's mad at her.
Yeah.
Well, no.
He's been going back and forth, actually.
And actually, last chapter, she corrected him, and he actually was like, oh, Bonnie!
He felt kind of bad, too, because
Like,
she
yeah.
mentioned, like, the father thing, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brock, I want you to do
Beep,
some...
beep, beep.
That's my father. It was... You could never tell that he read the chapter before this. Not with that reaction.
Where are you? Every time I look over, you're more messed up.
The sea spray from our ship. Oh, I got all over you. Oh, no.
Even if we were on a ship, it looks like we're in the cabin. How would we get
Were
sea
you mostly
spray?
just laughing at his...
It's the
Wait,
green...
you
It's
said
the...
that.
No, I meant to do that!
It's the grand line. You don't know what weather patterns are going to come. Water spray or just God spitting on you. You know, it's one of the two.
What?
Anyway. Is Chopper...
Bonnie.
He's... No, I didn't think so.
that's
I didn't think so.
Bonnie.
Yeah, okay, he's the only family I've got.
Let's see.
When you said your dad was turned into a cyborg,
You, Cyborg.
just take it.
You were.
You were talking about Kuma? Beep, beep, beep.
I'm begging you, and don't laugh at us.
I'm sorry.
Please don't hurt my daddy.
By the way, real quick, does anybody think that looks a lot like?
Dude, that is like so not Oda's style of art. that it's like...
Oh, is he sick this panel day?
This panel is so sick.
There's also, but
what art style do you feel like that's similar to, Brock? I couldn't place it.
Yeah, Brock, tell us.
But I feel like that
Otaku.
looks similar, kind of way up there too.
Well, no, yeah.
Oh, it's definitely Oda. I don't think he went to
It's
Fiverr
Oda.
for this.
No.
Anyway.
He's saying it's comparable to other artists. I believe is what he's saying.
I think it kind of looks like that starch like One Punch Man one.
Not
sometimes.
even One Punch.
No.
I would say maybe more of a My Hero Academia.
Okay.
I could see that. You know what? Absolutely. I'm getting all my vibes from this. That's
But also,
kind of.
I know this is probably just circumstantial, but he looks like he'd be related to Nefertari Cobra.
Nefertari Cobra
Yes.
or Vito.
Or Vito, yeah. Anybody with that kind of head with the balding hairline and the long black
But
hair.
can I say, when I live reacted to this panel, I was like, I covered my mouth. I was just, this was the first time that I felt such like a deep like for Bonnie, and especially the flashback right next to it where we get like this non-cyborg like smiling Kuma. Like we've never known him to be like that.
Yeah.
And he looks just like in
Also,
this.
never seen him without the hood,
Right.
or hat, or anything.
Yeah, like no pawpaw stuff. He just looks like, you know, a dude in a robe.
Yeah.
Who loves his daughter.
It's so sweet.
I started to cry. Just
It's so
even
powerful.
like, kind of just because I relate in a way. Not that my dad's dead. My dad is not dead.
Your dad's a cyborg.
Yeah, no.
He actually is.
But it
I
just
can confirm. Anyway, just kidding.
I can confirm.
But just as an adult woman, still having that soft spot and calling your father figure daddy, like not
No.
like as an actual like that the little child in you still like that's your daddy still.
Yeah.
So I could relate because I love both my parents and of the two, my dad was that emotionally present parent that I still like will call him my daddy.
No, it's powerful.
So like
a lot of girls do that.
so
And guys,
like
but
that
girls more,
one
I think.
I started to
Do you
cry.
speak from experience, Brock?
Brock is a daddy.
I mean, he's got that dad bod. Anyway.
I thought
Sorry.
that was a different joke.
There it is.
I was left to interpretation. Anyway, this was really sweet and heartfelt.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we just ruined
I'm
it.
so sorry.
But seriously, it is
Anyway,
a good panel.
we go to Luffy.
You dummy, get out of there! It's just a pacifista!
He fires giant explosion,
And it cuts
and that's
away.
where we're gonna leave it.
We're just gonna leave it all alone, but that is a huge explosion, by the way.
Oh, it's huge. I would not be surprised if Lilith noticed that from like holding the sunny if they're still out there in the sea.
So real quick, it looks like to me, given the attack he was about to use on that pacifista and the level of power this pacifista had, it seems to be definitely a much higher level than the ones they faced in Sabati.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, the fact that it just blew off a chunk of the island.
Oh,
was like,
absolutely. And here's the thing: if Vegapunk is the one who did everything with the pacifistas, why wouldn't he keep the best models to protect his own like laboratories and things?
It's his own security force.
This could be a whole new level of Kuma. Police Kuma.
Like I said, he's here to put down all
Judge
the
Kuma.
minorities.
Jesus Christ.
Kuma Cop.
Anyway, a certain sea in the new world. Brock, it is your time to shine.
It's no good, Captain.
I think it's still them with another hit like that, right?
Yeah. Another hit like that, and the water pressure will crush us.
We won't be able to. That's right. I forgot for a second.
First off, let's surface.
We won't be able to escape. There's land northeast of here. Prepare for battle and be quick about it.
Robin with tattoos? Wait, no, that's Law.
That's a hot law.
Oh my god! I just realized that the bear has.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Beppo has
Beppo
hair.
is
Beppo
styling.
is Peppo.
Beppa.
Yeah, Beppo. That's better. Let's go with that. Anyway.
Wow, Captain, you're so cute now.
Do you have a death wish?
Crap, we're sorry.
As one.
It got me too.
Keep away from the infected. His powers are contagious. They're hoping to disorient us with the forced gender flipping. It'll be fine though. Our classes with the Emperor's
Such a
taught me.
meme. This is
The
such a
devil
meme.
fruit powers can be countered if you use a great deal of hockey.
Captain, we've surfaced.
Ah!
He's managed to nullify the disease. I'd expect no less from pirate worth 3 billion. That's how diseases go. An antibody always comes along when one person finds a remedy. It's not long before everyone's cured.
Doc Q, sick fruit.
It was entertaining though, right? I call this one the Malady.
Malady?
Malady is like what I'm thinking of. Isn't malady like normally a word for
I just read it as Malady.
No, I mean, I feel like he would have.
Like,
no, I definitely wanted to say Malady, but
I think it was like my lady. You know,
My
kind of a mixture of the
Malady. Transformation plague.
Burgess, I'm gonna send you over to the island.
Got it!
Van Auger, warp fruit.
Let's see. Somebody's in the woods. Wee! My puff fruit powers are the frickin' best! Let's see.
Burgess, he's lifting a mountain.
Wee!
Brock, you played fucking John
John
Bart, maybe?
John Bart.
I think he has lipstick on too.
Oh, he does. She does.
How'd he get in front of us?
Superhuman strength, bizarre contagions, teleportation. These guys have hunted down some insane powers. No wonder their bounties keep rising.
It's gonna crush us!
Room.
It's been a while, hasn't it, Trafalgar Law?
What do you want?
Is that any way to speak to a fellow member of the worst generation?
Let's see, when...
When you, Kid, and Straw Hat left Watto, I knew one of you would end up here. But I had no way of knowing which of you would show.
Commodore. Stronger said he's struggling to carry our weight. I'm struggling myself.
Why is it that all the flying horses are so freaking sick and ugly?
Stronger, mythical Zoan fruit, Pegasus.
With Big Mom and Kaido gone, the world's gonna turn on its head. Sounds fun, huh? Kaido had one, didn't he? Just how many load poneglyph rubbings have you got? I'll be taking them off your hands.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Let's settle this. Winner takes all.
When Titans clash.
End chapter 1063.
Oh,
God! Worst outcome! Worst outcome! Worst outcome!
Why couldn't it have been Captain Mid?
I couldn't have been fucking Captain Mid! Fuck you, kid! Get in there!
At least he has. At least he has a decent crew.
God, fuck! Does he?
Comparatively.
I mean, he has one more worst generation member, I guess.
I don't know.
Beppo ain't worst generation.
He's got more particular and like named characters than these
Yeah,
days.
he's got the guy that breathes fire. That guy's great.
I like that guy.
You were just talking shit about Law's crew.
It is shit!
Compared to Kid's crew.
Shit!
Not as shit as Law's crew, apparently,
Look,
according to you.
at least Kid's crew was like doing a lot of shit in Onigashima,
It
fighting and shit.
really felt like Law's crew.
Law's
Kids'
hanging
crew
out.
was doing more
Hanging
than
out down
Kids. Yeah.
Is that a body in the water? Ooh, let's save Luffy. Good, but not fighting. That's not fighting.
They are not a fighting crew, though. Like, as it's been brought up, like, Law is
They're
really
utilitarian.
yeah.
Here's my thing. Law and his crew. No, Law's worth $3 billion. His crew is like what?
Combined, maybe $50.
100,000.
Tree fitty.
I will give Beppo 100. I'll give Beppo $100.
Just for the cool fight moves.
Now, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So let's start at the top because obviously there's some things to talk about. So predictions from last time that didn't come true. I know that I said I wanted to learn more about Vegapunks. No new Vegapunks this
I
chapter.
wanted to know about Zoro's whole thing with Vegapunk.
No Zoro
Yeah.
this chapter. Brock, did you get anything you wanted this chapter?
I don't think
Nope.
so. No.
And Kat, did you have any? No guesses. So yeah,
No, we had guesses. I didn't write my guess down, but we all had guesses. We just, none of them came true.
and that's how Oda does things, man. He just subverts them expectations. Why isn't shit free on Egghead? Why is police coma?
Because they're strapped for funds.
So here's my thing. So obviously they were just chatting it up with Atlas, right? Which is now corrected 05.
Mhm.
So good on you, Oda, for doing that whole thing. doesn't seem to give a shit that the Straw Hats are here. Is literally like, bye, have a good time, whatever. I'm gonna go run riot. What's riot? And then Kuma, separate from that whole thing, goes thievery, murder time.
What it sounds like to me is that so far it seems like each one has their own racket that they run to kind of scam money out of people. Now, I know this one led straight to murder, but maybe the hope was that
we can sell your organs at least.
maybe we could like extort some money out of these people for stealing our shit, even though we never said it cost anything.
Right.
But I don't know. Or maybe she's just fucking weird and didn't care that they were stealing shit.
Here's my question for you, Brock. What animal is Atlas? Because we can clearly see the tail and the ears this chapter.
Atlas, let me see.
Go to the, well, I have to get back to work. If I don't run riot, no one will.
Yeah, I get you. All right, so...
What the
Wait.
All I think about
Mick
is,
looking.
Alex, you should put a picture here of Dino from, it's a Pokemon.
Aldino?
Audino.
Audino.
A-U-D-I-N.
It's gonna go right here.
That's what she looks like to me from the front. The tail makes me think flying squirrel.
Yeah, the tail is definitely either a raccoon or a squirrel of some kind, is what I'd say. But I don't...
Tanuki!
A real Tanuki.
An actual Tanuki-based creature.
It makes me think of Mario when he gets like that
That's
raccoon.
that's
That's a
Tanuki.
Tanuki suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's that mystery solved. Any thoughts on Riot? Not enough information. I'm in the boat where I got
Not enough
not even
information unless Kuma's the riot police.
It's obviously important. It's obviously important enough to mention.
She's like, okay, I'm gonna go run Riot. Hi, Kuma. Yeah, we have some thieves. And Kuma's
Yeah.
like,
They didn't pay for food, and they're currently in the process of putting on outfits that don't belong to them.
which love the fits. Really, I do. I like the fits. For
Besides
this
on
island.
Luffy on the boots.
The boots are weird. Take the boots off.
The boots are fine on.
Those boots were not made for walking.
I'm worried.
Although-
Yeah, they're meant for floating.
Yeah.
Like moon shoes.
Moon shoes.
Moon shoes! Moon! More moon stuff! Maybe. Could be. My thought with Riot... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, looking back to last chapter about which punk is what thing, because Brock was saying like they each have their own whatever.
Kind of areas of
Area.
expertise.
Atlas is Wrath.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Atlas is going around punching holograms and shit. And Luffy.
Except at the same time, like Atlas seems just so nice and kind and sweet.
She's one of those, like her hair, like
But
she has
isn't that-
two very
isn't that
stark...
the point of wrath? Is that normally it's when you get to that level, you just immediately like have there's no in between. It is immediate 0 to you are going to feel.
She does give out the vibe of someone who snaps with no
Yes,
indication.
I
She
do have
snaps.
someone in mind for that. But
She
also,
snaps and then she's right back to, oh yeah, that's a great machine that I have there. Yeah, these
No,
ones
straight
cool.
up.
Anyway.
But that's kind of how wrath is that like when you think of like wrath as a bad thing, you think of it as just completely onset with no
warning.
warning
And see,
whatsoever.
I think Wrath is like kind of a constant state more. Like I don't know.
I mean, maybe her trick is she's always angry.
Oh my god.
I know, that's where I'm like,
She can turn it on in a second because she's always.
but I guess yeah,
She
Wrath,
is She-Hulk.
like
But without the twerking.
Topical. Fuck off.
Well,
I don't know. In my mind, like if someone's like really wrathful, even in their unwrathy state, they're like still pretty like not this happy chipper. Like
Feeling
they're still pretty on
kind
the
of
negative
aggro,
side.
you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, the thing about wrath is it's a state of being. It's not necessarily a constant emotion. It's a result of emotions. Wrath comes out when it's time to get revenge.
ooh, may I mention Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins?
That's fair.
Very happy-go-lucky dude who like is shit at cooking, but pretty happy-go-lucky normally. And then as soon as someone does something, he
It probably is the fact that when her anger is awoken, her wrath is the worst, is what I'm guessing.
And I don't think we've seen her wrath. I think we've seen her being like,
We've seen her get pissed off really quickly,
Pissed?
but we haven't seen her want revenge.
I'm gonna make a prediction that Riot has something to do with like needing her strength to work in, because her epitaph is Atlas. Atlas mythologically holds up the sky, and because no one else can do it but her, I think it has to be a
globe.
well, it's the globe, it's the stars. Like there's variations.
He holds up everything.
Something important. And so maybe she let it go for a bit and is going back to do that task. So
Or maybe it's a bit more symbolic in that maybe like Riot is the police. Maybe she actually is the head of the security force that runs the island, or the military.
To be fair, Yonko crew just did roll up to the island, so kind of important to get your security in place.
Yeah.
And did just steal our shit.
And they've been stealing our shit and eating our burgs. Eat the burg, man.
Eating our hot burgers.
Love the fits. Anything else you guys want to talk about in that little bit there?
I think that's enough to
Like,
directly.
that's all I gotta say about that.
I mean, it was a pretty short scene. Obviously, the Bonnie stuff is deeply heartfelt, but I don't feel like, in a very rare instance, we don't have more questions from that. I think that was just a really solid answer.
Well, I will give you this. So, I was misunderstanding your language when you brought it up, I think, last chapter. Remember, where you pointed out that, notice that Bonnie hasn't said, Kuma is my dad, just that my dad is a cyborg.
Right.
And that led to this
Giant scene where they're like, oh, Kuma
to
is...
this, yeah,
Right.
like, yeah, because I didn't think anything of it, and then it's like, oh, like, literally the next chapter, the fact that she used selective language led to this moment where...
Yeah, we did discuss that this could potentially be
Where she's almost killed. If they had known that Kuma was her father, that
and
might have been different.
obviously, she's like, please don't hurt my daddy.
One thing I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on,
No.
has well, I don't need yours. No, please do. Has Bonnie seen Pacivistas before?
I'm sure she has.
That's why I asked the question last week,
Right.
Or the
Was
last
she
week or
there
the week
at
prior.
Sabadi, right?
I was like, did she see a pacifista at Sabadi? And if so, did we get a reaction shot?
I don't think
She was never one of the people that fought one.
Exactly.
Right.
At least that's what you told me.
Right. Well, and in my reaction, I literally talk about, I read through Sabadi recently, and there was no like direct correlation with her and a pacifista. But my other thought is, she had she was very hurt at Reverie when she saw Kuma, with the things in his back and everything being written, and she was very mad. But I don't think she froze like she did here. So I'm just curious if this happens anytime she sees someone relating or looking like Kuma, or
I don't know. I think it's at the same like
it's interesting.
Obviously she's looking for Vegapunk, so my thought is that she knows that her dad was turned into a pacifist.
Yeah.
But whether she knows what that looks like or not. Because I feel like she didn't really freeze in either of these per se. I wouldn't.
Well, I'm just saying from when she's crying there,
Yeah.
and
that
then
was-
Luffy's jumping in, and she's just
To be
Right.
fair,
That's my
she had
interpretation.
stopped him from attacking
kicked Luffy.
and was pleading with him not to attack.
Right.
And I think that's what it is not necessarily that she froze and wouldn't continue to run away, but that she's trying to prevent,
Yeah, she's
Please.
putting herself in between
please,
Kuma and
please don't attack him. Because also, I feel like she's almost traumatized from seeing, I would hope she knows that was her real father there at Maryjois being ridden by a slave. I think she's almost traumatized by what they were doing to him. And so it was just kind of hey, I don't want to see the image of my dad
Well, honestly,
getting
Yeah.
beat up anymore.
you could, and here's why it's a fully acceptable thing. Even if she does know the existence of pacifistas, is this is something that is within what Oda has already done, which he reuses that stuff. Prime example, Kikunojo. She had 3 different chances to kill Oden,
Yep.
but because it was Odin's face, even though she knew it wasn't Odin, she could not do it.
Absolutely. Okay.
It's very hard sometimes that logically, I mean, I know a lot of times, logically, I know something's one way. Emotionally, there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
That emotionally, I think it's something different.
And Bonnie definitely has been.
I like to
through
think of myself as a utilitarian in this kind of situation, that I would logically, my logic would overcome it. I can't guarantee that would be the case, because, I mean, that's the whole point.
You gotta. It's actually being in the situation
it's
versus
being in the situation.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, very interesting.
And there are just some things that just the image of it, because I mean, if we were to think of our own parents, that if we knew they were, if cyborgs were real, if you knew I think still trying to have to hit your own parent, even if you know it's not them, I don't think a lot of people can do
Even
it.
if you
Yeah.
literally have the strength to do it.
And she
Like,
doesn't, right? That's she hits Luffy before she does anything with Kuma. Yeah.
And we've never really seen her fight, so for all we know, like, hers could be like a one and done, like,
Yeah.
she hit one good hit and that wipes her energy, too.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, she did specifically want a battle outfit because Vegapunk, right?
Mhm.
That's who she's going to war with, seemingly. But even in that battle outfit, she got one thing on Luffy, and then she was just like, and she was in her flashback. She was in her memories.
Yeah.
I think Bonnie's gonna have a really cool arc.
No, I'm
and
very excited.
The
for it.
continual, like, if there's more Kumas, Seraphim showing up, potentially real Kuma reuniting with her, because he can bop himself anywhere, really, right? I think Bonnie has quite the arc coming.
My last just random thing on this. Once again, Oda just shows himself to be the master of drawing a crying face. Like, he is so good at negative emotion.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good at portraying negative emotion.
Goda.
You know, here's a thought too. This might be a long shot, but what if, in the scene where she is bawling, she said, "Please don't hurt my daddy." You know, what if, given her fruit, it's made her a bit unstable in terms of her own age? And
That would be
when
very-
when it comes to certain things, she reverts like she's reverting back to a child in
That
this
would
moment.
be very interesting.
I think that'd
It
be
could be that.
a super interesting aspect if that were the case.
I'm thinking real life examples. There are certain mental health disorders that stem from childhood trauma. We don't know how old she was when shit went down with Kuma.
Right.
It could have been right after this flashback that he was taken from her, or whatever. That.
What if she's
And-
actually still a child?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
what
it
if she
could be
got
that.
her fruit very short, like shortly after that flashback, and then aged herself up?
So that she could come save her dad, but emotionally, like Momo, she's still a child.
She did say she was here. What was it last chapter? She mentioned that she had been to this island a few years ago, or
So-
when she was younger.
Or was it in that
I
chapter?
think
haven't
so.
seen.
She mentioned something about being at Egghead previous. I just can't remember.
So while Kat's looking
But,
for that,
well, I was going to finish
Oh, go ahead.
my thought.
Do it.
Is that there's certain mental health disorders that stem from childhood trauma, and that even as an adult, in certain circumstances with certain triggers, you revert back to that childhood state.
Mm-hmm.
I know from experience that in extreme emotions, I feel like I'm 5, and you revert back to the point right before the trauma happened. So, for all we know, like, she could still be, but it could also be she's still actually a child and she just found that fruit to age herself up to.
That's almost more interesting because not only does she have maybe that mentally going on, but then to add a fruit that lets you be the age that you are choosing to be, or maybe not choosing to be,
Yeah.
that could then, like, literally physically put her in that place again without her control.
This is a lot of mind fuckery going on.
Now, there's a lot about Bonnie that I feel like is going to be a bit more eye-opening than with just about all the other supernovas.
Were
Okay.
you trying to finish off whatever you were saying before?
Sorry. Before I finished,
No.
I'm gonna go look back and see.
I don't think it holds water. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, with that, moving on to a certain sea in the New World. Okay, before we even get into the craziness of this, what island do you guys think this is? That we have just landed on.
It's the one that Law's going to. So.
Right.
Well,
The
yeah.
one that he chose first, right? The most direct path.
Well, he didn't. He won, but yes.
Well, they both said what? Middle East or whatever, and he was the only one that was like northeast, and he's like, yeah, guys,
Oh,
it's the most
okay.
direct path, and they were like, damn it! Then they drew straws, and Luffy got the shortest.
Got
straw,
it. That's what.
So he had the
okay.
most indirect path,
And it's Bonnie just says when I was a kid,
Mm.
it was still run of the mill lab.
which could literally be her saying, when I was a kid a year ago.
Yeah.
I was a kid 10 years ago. We don't know. She could be a kid in a second, right?
Well, that was actually my thought process that I abandoned here, because I was like, how long ago was the Sabo, Ace, and Luffy flashback? That was when Luffy was 7.
I want to say 7.
Which he's currently 19, so 12 years ago.
Mm.
Which Kuma was on that ship that, you know, Dragon led with all the, like,
Right.
the people burning. So I was kind of like thinking, well, because that flashback looks like before Kuma would have left his home, per se. So I was just like, well, what if that was only like 5 years ago? And then I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, nah. So I think Bonnie is at least like in normal age without her fruit. I think she is probably about Luffy's age.
That might hurt our she is Luffy's mother chances then.
No.
I mean,
Your
I
she
thought it
is
was
Luffy's
funny.
No,
mother.
I
That
think
was fun.
sister is more likely.
Mine was just a meme on the Luffy's mother. I definitely can lean more towards
Unless,
possible sister.
I'm
She
okay with
could
her
be
being part of
younger.
Luffy's harem.
unless,
I mean, with Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, I'm all for it. Just kidding.
unless Kuma had Bonnie later, but was still working with Dragon, so she could be younger.
Dude, Bonnie's age, that's going to be an infinite point. Because, like,
Yeah.
she can
Until-
change that shit.
Until it's confirmed.
Yeah.
Like, if she got her fruit really young, she could just stay a kid for 10 years.
That's
Like, she could be like, yeah, I like this. I'd be a kid forever. I'm Peter Pan.
You're looking for age.
I'm.
If it has one.
Just
Yeah.
look up jewelry Bonnie.
Is this the right wiki?
Yeah.
Probably.
It is.
If he's the One Piece one.
Anyway, while she's looking that up, I don't see this being an island of importance necessarily.
Here's why I think it might be important. If it is an island that has some
Okay.
history or some important characters on it,
Well,
Law might actually have some backup.
Okay, hold
so
up.
estimated
Mm-hmm.
is 22.
See, that's,
So it's not confirmed.
Well, estimated after the time skip is 24.
Is 24, but it's still estimated, and it could be estimated based on what she looks like, and
Yeah.
if she can change
No,
that.
exactly.
there's no way to know. I mean, her being Kuma's daughter is like brand new information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now we can
Yeah.
kind of, now if we can get his age, and then we can play with her age. Oof, it's tough. But yeah, no, so moving to a certain sea of the new world, my thing is, look, Law.
Got 9 minutes.
Law is in a very interesting place on this new island because, look, I don't think his crew is backing him up. It is Law versus Burgess. It is Law versus Van Augur. It is Law versus Stronger and Doc Hugh. It is Law versus Blackbeard. I don't think Beppo's a match for any of those guys. Not to mention whoever else is on frickin' Blackbeard's ship, which looks a little nicer nowadays. It's got a little cabin on the back rather than just like a third tree trunk. So he's been doing some renovations.
You know, the only way I think Vlog could maybe beat them all is if he were able to room himself away from, like, I think he would have to take out Van Augur first, room them elsewhere, take him out so that Van Augur can't, like, move, and then just room people over to take them out.
What's really interesting with this matchup, if you do take Law versus Warp Fruit, Law can do that with Room. Sick Fruit, Law's a doctor, right? The Buff Fruit, there's not really a parallel there, but like overwhelming strength versus Law's like tactical mind.
But also he has the
his
shots
knife.
and stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, no, it doesn't. Isn't one of them that he can? Maybe not. No.
He has a bunch of weird techniques, and that's the
Yeah.
thing with Law. He is like a utility character who can change up the battlefield in an instant. My problem is Blackbeard is leading his forces. And if I'm really going to power scale intelligence here, I have to give the edge to Blackbeard. Especially because Blackbeard got the jump on him. He made him surface, he put him on an island on land, and now he surrounded him.
Because that's the thing is, like, the whole point of Law's frickin' sub is like, why, how does anybody find you unless they are doing the same method of traveling?
Well, this was just a chance that he found them, though. Remember,
He
because
knew-
Blackbeard said he knew one of them was coming here.
The chance aspect was,
Kid.
I think Blackbeard knows which islands would be the next logs after Wano,
Yeah.
and the chance was he put himself on the path that was, in Law's own words, the most direct.
Yeah.
And just said, okay, I'm going to wait here for one of those three.
Yeah, that's what it happened, and it just chance that he was able to figure out it was Law's crew. But as a sub underneath, he has to have some way of telling that.
I thought the chance you were meaning was that Blackbeard showed up, like...
No, he chose to be here. It's just chance that it was Law.
Okay.
Yes, right. Here's my thing. Look, I love Law. I really do. Hot Law's even cooler. He's not hot. Well, he's still hot.
He's hot both ways.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't be weird about this.
It's great. Here's the thing that I think Oda could do that would hurt my heart, but it would be so interesting. Let's harken back to, and I don't know if I need to well, if we go back to when Blackbeard fought Ace the very first time, we saw a really good fight, and ultimately the panel we were left on with an overture voice was
5 minutes.
Very interesting thing will happen in the future because of this incident, and all we saw was Ace's hat. And I think if he really wants to draw the parallel, that's exactly where he could leave Law. Maybe alive, maybe dead, but that is where we could leave it. And that scares the hell out of me because holy shit, I do not want that to happen to my boy Law.
No, especially
or girl Law.
I mean, the other thing is, I think even if it gets out that Blackbeard captures Law and doesn't outright kill him, Luffy's gonna be like, Trogon, you're my dude, you're a friend, we're gonna go save you.
Dude, if Luffy hears what happened to Hancock, what happened to Law, oh yeah, we're setting him up to fight Blackbeard and be like, you motherfucker. 100%.
We don't know if...
And he has Kobe!
The fact that we don't know if Kobe or Boa are dead or not.
Well, we know Boa's
or
fine.
Hancock.
We know Hancock's fine. Because she was talking with Rayleigh afterwards, they'd all left, right?
Oh, that's right. She
Just
left.
Kobe got taken.
She's safe, but still, to hear what he did to Our Lady.
You mentioned the boa thing. This chapter literally made me forget that the last time we saw Blackbeard, he had attacked a boa. What is...
My guy.
This motherfucker is out here declaring war against everybody!
But it is interesting that everybody he's attacking and or coming in contact with are closely connected to Luffy.
Okay, but here...
I think he's trying to draw Luffy out because of the fruits, he wants Luffy's fruit now that he probably knows what it is.
I half expected part of this to have Blackbeard looking at a picture of Luffy's new bounty poster and saying, white hair, that must be, or something along those lines.
So let me go back to my original point of what island is this? I think we could potentially, and I'm so happy to be wrong, but we could potentially have a Doctor team up, and this is Sphinx. And Marco is here, and Marco and Law take on Blackbeard, and maybe we get away with Marco's help.
Dude,
I am down for that.
I'm
actually.
down for that, but also...
I know. The other side of that is now Marco is also in peril.
I was dude, for your sake, and also the part of me that does really like Marco... No, please God, no.
But I do not see another ally for what? Is Rayleigh gonna show up and help Law?
No.
Sengoku maybe shows up and helps Law. That's the only person I could think of that cares. Well,
Aokiji's a turncoat, and he shows up. He helps Law pull out a win here, and he gives Law pudding.
Aokichi and Kobe versus Blackbeard and crew with Law's help.
Anyway.
Thought if Okiji was at Whole Cake, how far is that though?
No, right. And that's the thing. Is this happening?
Granted, he could just bite the
and
wrong
also,
way down.
was the cold-blooded voyage happening after we've beaten Big Mom and Kaido, or
Yeah,
is
it
it
has to
happening as?
Oh, as they're beating. Got it.
And if Blackbeard doesn't know where those two motherfuckers are, then we definitely don't know where those two. They're out of the picture, and we're gonna flip the world on its head. Okay, Blackbeard, still not confirming shit. Thank you so much, sir. God. Okay. Do you guys think we actually see this fight, or is this gonna get off screen?
It's gonna get off screen.
No.
I think off screen.
No, Brock.
I think the most the anime will do for us is it'll add a little bit more.
Kat, do you think they're gonna show it? Kat?
I think we might see bits of it, or like snip.
That's
like,
the hope. I'm holding on to it.
I don't think we're gonna see the whole thing.
Oh, there it is. I'm dead.
The most I'll give it is maybe we'll see the end.
God, no, not the hat. Not the hat on the ground. Please, God, not the hat.
We might see bits.
It'd be such a cool fight. Like, irregardless of the outcome, it would be such a cool fight. To see Law go up against Blackbeard and crew.
While I agree, Law's not the main character.
He is got main character energy.
He does, and
Not really. He's got more
He's
like...
got Shikamaru energy.
He's got
bro.
Vegeta energy.
What?
He's got Vegeta Shikamaru energy. Sorry.
No, Sasuke energy.
No.
Don't Shikamaru him.
No.
No.
I said Vegeta.
He's 3 billion.
Like
Vegeta's weaker.
I said Vegeta and Shikamaru.
Why not Sasuke?
Because I think Kid has more Sasuke energy.
That is so true.
Kid.
I'm not saying... You gotta understand, I hate Sasuke a lot.
Same.
I mean, true, but
So,
that like
anyway.
integral
Sorry,
character.
we are
thing.
not talking about Naruto, we are talking about Law.
It's important. Okay. So
He's
everyone's...
got big main rival energy.
I'm gonna... Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
I wouldn't
And
say
he's worth
main,
3
I
billion,
wouldn't say main character.
and maybe wants to find the true history somehow.
Yeah.
but I just
You know what?
he's not
No.
a straw hat. This
Law-
is about the straw
Law
hats
has
mostly.
Piccolo
So.
energy.
He is very much Piccolo.
Piccolo energy.
That's good.
That's a great...
That's a
Alright.
great thing.
Nacho beams, boom!
I think Piccolo is more of a friend to Goku than Vegeta is to Goku.
A begrudging friend.
After he got
Of the
through his-
of the begrudging friends.
After he got through like the Demon King phase,
Yeah.
and then beat up his son a lot.
Anyway,
Did you decide what island this is?
Mm.
Or
if
was
it's
that-
of importance.
Yeah, if you don't think it's important, that's also fair.
Honestly,
I'm an ally.
Honestly, since the island wasn't named at this point in time, I don't think it's very important. Because usually when they appear at the islands during these big events, there's like, meanwhile, on the island of this.
Mhm.
And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we might go there, or there might be some kind of central significance, but I don't think it's important.
So you remember last time we talked about the islands in the area, right? The G14 base,
Yeah.
right? The Egghead. We've got Full Lead in here, which is why Blackbeard is in this area, right? Because Full Lead's not too far. Whatever island that those Straw Hats were going to, wherever Kid went, right? And that might have been Lucia, right? Kid might have been going there, and it's like, why the fuck? Who's that blonde bitch? Get him up here! You know, I don't know. I want to see a Kid Sabo, that'd be funny. But, like, Sphinx is also a place that Marco went to on Shanks' boat very recently. Oh! Could Shanks show up to support Film Red again?
Or maybe, if it is Sphinx,
No.
maybe Weavile.
Is it too soon?
Jump in.
Could be. He's like,
Enemies everywhere!
Who should I help, Mama?
well, Marco's over there, so help Blackbeard.
Okay.
Listen, if he's on Sphinx, then that's a lot of big names coming into
Could
one
be.
But at the
place.
same time, like,
No clue where Weavile
it'd
is.
be hilarious though that Law just is able to get out in the middle of the confusion
Oh.
of Weavile just destroying everything.
Weavile's like, you killed my dad! Oh, Weavile hates Blackbeard. Weavile hates Blackbeard, and they're like, Mommy, shouldn't we take out Blackbeard? He killed Daddy. And she's like, no, fuck, your Daddy's friends.
That's
And he's like, okay. If he sees Blackbeard, he's like, fuck you, Mom. Maybe he beats the shit out of Blackbeard for a few minutes. I don't know. And then Law gets away.
Yeah.
Weavile could come. I'm okay with Sphinx if Weavile comes. And then fights Blackbeard. And Blackbeard's like, who the fuck are you? And he just keeps getting battered around because, like, the dude is, this is full
And then
strat.
Blackbeard kills Weavile. And then all of my problems are solved.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think it won't happen, but it'd be funny if Weavile, like, avenged his dad stupidly. Like, Blackbeard's like, you're not Whitebeard's son. Oh my god, that hurt! Fuck!
confirmed strongest Bosu Shoku Haki.
God, so many interesting things could happen on this unnamed currently island.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
At least with Boa Hancock, it got settled the same
I
chapter.
don't think that Shanks will show up, though. It's too soon, I think, for him to meet Blackbeard. In the same vein, too early for Shanks to meet Luffy.
But also, I think that'd be showing a lot if we did it right after the Wano thing with him.
Don't believe me, that one was, like, out of left field.
But then again,
He's in these seas.
we are seeing a shit ton of Blackbeard.
We are. He's showed up
Comparatively.
2 times.
What's up, Bert?
What are you doing?
So, do we think that Burgess just got his fruit, or did he have that back on Dressrosa?
I'm gonna go and say these are all new.
I think they're new.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we
I
know
don't
that.
think they had him.
I think we know that because Law says superhuman strength, bizarre contagions, teleportation. These guys have hunted down some insane powers. No wonder their bounties keep rising. I'm going to assume that their bounties have been rising recently because of all this stuff.
It was after his fight with Sabo.
Though I don't think it would have mattered if he had the buff route versus Sabo. I don't think Van Arbor...
So, like,
when he fought him...
as Law confirmed just now, like, I think Sabo has enough hockey that he could have countered.
Oh! One of my biggest things from when I live reacted. So Law shows us that if you have enough hockey to, like, let out, you can get over Devil Fruit powers.
Yes.
So, this has other implications, do you think that if the wrong person was turned into a toy, they could hockey their shit out of that?
I think so.
Potentially.
But
it just takes a shit ton of hockey
that's
to do that.
why Doflamingo never used sugar against people stronger than himself?
Oh, I thought that was going somewhere totally different.
What did you think?
Pop?
Pop wheel.
Pop wheel?
Oh, that's the other implication.
That's implication.
But they don't know about that.
That's
That's why I was like, why are we
Dragons
talking about
thing.
this?
No, but so yeah, that is a devil fruit that could potentially be overcome with enough hockey.
I think so.
Maybe.
That's...
I mean, that could also be Blackbeard can suck everything in. Could Luffy put out enough hockey that
to not be take his devil fruit power taken?
Well, I was gonna say that Blackbeard ends up sucking in Luffy's hockey that he can then attack Blackbeard from the inside.
Oh, man.
Kind of like the Ryu.
Yeah,
with
Ryu. Yeah, where you go past the
But Blackbeard doesn't realize that he's sucking out Luffy's hockey that's going to attack him from the inside.
Well, and Ryu's interesting
Because
it's very similar to Skypiea, the dials.
Mm-hmm.
It goes through your physical protections.
Yeah.
And gets you,
I mean, the other thing is Blackbeard said that way back when he was fighting Ace, anything that he takes in, it affects him, didn't he?
Like
That
any
it-
damage he
damage.
takes in.
He takes double the damage, but he also has this really powerful, like, nullifying devil fruit ability in not response, but like in
exchange.
Yeah.
In exchange for that, right?
But I wonder if Luffy's hockey is strong enough that it overcomes the nullifying power to then do lots of damage.
I think Kaido said it best. He's like, Roger had no devil fruit. Hockey is king. And ultimately, Luffy proved that by, well, it was still combination devil fruit and hockey. But, like, he beat the guy who was like, hockey's the best. With the big hockey punch. So,
yeah.
I do think, I've always thought that hockey is what you need to beat Blackbeard, because his whole thing is, I'll nullify your devil fruit. You'll have nothing in terms of that power.
I'm still of the opinion that hockey's going to be a huge factor, of course.
Oh, 100%.
Now I think can be countered if you use a great deal of hockey. I do think that's a very general statement that can't be applied in all the same ways. I think, say for example, in like say Kaido's matter, it's just a matter of like the stronger hockey wins, like in terms of physical power. While this one is just you have enough power, you have enough hockey to nullify the effects that this Devil has on you.
Right.
So that leads me to think that maybe with Blackbeard, I'm often of the thought that it isn't just the hockey that will win, but
Official translation.
But I truly think that Luffy's fruit is kind of the antithesis to Blackbeard's.
That's weird though. No, I agree with you too, Brock.
Kind of like the white and the black,
See, this
darkness
makes
and light
sense
type thing.
Because like, why wouldn't they? They know what violence is, right?
Yeah.
God, such an yeah. So I mean, whatever Blackbeard is doing, he is drawing things together for Luffy to be really mad at him. I mean, madder than he already is for all the other shit he's done.
Yeah.
I like that better.
I see the bear. A bear? Oh, right, because it was a bear. Makes sense.
They're looking at the official translation, in case you were wondering.
But
and the run riot is back to my job. Violence.
But the question is weird because then it's like
That was the thought I had though. I thought she might have
Yeah.
actually been saying literally to just run riot. I thought that's what she meant. So
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Any more thoughts on the chapter before we get into predictions for 1064, which we will get without a break? No
Ooh.
break. Let's go.
Yas, join us.
No, I think let's go.
I'd plug the show, but like there's
Let's go.
All right. 1064. What do I want to see versus what I think we will see are two very different things.
Okay, so I will do it as two different things.
Thank you. What I want to see is a continuation of the law scenario, and I'd like to see the beginnings of a battle. What I think will actually happen is we will cut fully away from that and go back to Egghead and probably see more Vegapunks and the Straw Hats dealing with Egghead things. But I'd like to be wrong. I would like to be wrong. Because that is just a rough cliffhanger, man.
As Oda is good at doing.
Dude, Oda, Goda, Rhoda, love you.
Can I just say, like, the ending of that feels kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh duel, where it's like, whoever wins this, I get your god card, or whatever the heck.
Your soul.
Here's my thing. Law has at least 3. Because he was at Zoe with the Straw Hats. He got the rubbings from Wano. What's the other one? Oh, Big Moms. He might not have Big Moms, actually.
They might have been nice to him and let him have Big Moms.
They might have exchanged it. So he might have 3, or he'll only have 2. And it doesn't matter because Aokiji and Friend is currently getting Big Moms right now. So if he does beat Law, which I'm pretty sure we all agree is going to happen, he will be tied with Luffy with the number of poneglyphs.
No, it's not.
And if he...
We do not all agree that he's going to beat Law.
Oh, good. I don't want him to.
So.
My main thing is he will be tied with Luffy if he gets those. And he will have someone to read them inputting. I'd love Law to win. I just don't see how without help. Which is really why I want the Doctor team up.
Yeah, no, so help is coming.
I really want the Doctor team up, yeah. Burke, 1064. Predictions.
Want versus realistically.
What I want...
Mm-hmm.
I want an answer to what the fuck Zoro is talking to Vegapunk about.
Fair.
And I honestly do want to see more of the Blackbeard fight. It's not going to happen.
Would love to be wrong about that.
What I think will actually happen is we will end up focusing on Luffy and Bonnie and all that stuff. And honestly, I think we will also focus on the rest of the crew as well. I do think one of my wants will happen next chapter, or at least will be on its way to happening next chapter.
Jokes, we go to Kid, and Lucy being gone, and him being pissed.
I honestly do think that would be very funny if the island that Kid did get exploded, and all he finds is just, a floating blonde kid. I do think that would be funny. In like a, oh, thank God Saba's alive, and also just like, get fucked, kid, kind of way,
Brock, 1064.
I thought about it, and I've somewhat changed my stance on how much of the fight we could possibly see. Now, I think it's most likely that we won't see very much, if any at all. But if I'm comparing, if we're at the stage I think we are in this anime, and I'm comparing it to a lot of other anime of the same stature.
There is no anime of the same stature.
I'm talking about like big 3 level is what I mean. Like,
there's only big.
Shut the fuck up. Anyways,
One Piece.
We're actually seeing the abilities, like the actual abilities of his crewmates. Which means it would not be a far off thought to think that we might see a little bit, actually, or a bit more of what Blackbeard can actually do. We might not see the whole fight, but I can see us, because like Oda does like to go back and forth when multiple bad things are happening. So just combine them for me, Kat.
Okay. What
I think is going to happen, and kind of what I want, because I think it'd be very Oda-ish, and I think it would work.
Okay.
I think it's going to go back and forth between Luffy protecting Bonnie from being shot by her daddy, and that's going to create a problem there. And then I think
for who?
For them, because Luffy just got shot by her daddy.
Oh, you think Luffy took the shot?
I think he took the shot for her.
Oh.
And if not, awesome. But if he did, Well, now she's got a reason to be thankful. And then you can also go back to Law having some troubles. Like, wait, what the fuck is this guy doing? Oh my god, what is that type moment? Like, and we might not see everything, but we're like, okay, what is Blackbeard doing, and what has he acquired over these past few years?
Dude, how fucking cool would it be? It's not happening. How fucking cool would it be if we had a Magellan type situation where, like, we zoom in on the island and there's just fucking Blackbeard's crew is like strewn about, and Blackbeard himself is in pieces like Virgo. Like, well, that sucked. I thought we had him. It's just like all of his arms and his pieces are all across, and Bird's just like, we did it. Knew he was so smart. Oh my god. And Law's just like, nah, I'm good.
Be fine.
I don't see it happening. But
No, I don't. I literally said no way. But that'd be fun. Ain't over my head again. Because that's what happened with Magellan, dude.
No, because the only reason I don't think is because Blackbeard doesn't challenge people he thinks he has a chance of losing against.
Just Penguin comes out with a bazooka and we're like, oh shit. Yeah, I thought I was a side character. Yeah.
Like, that's why he left when Rayleigh appeared. Otherwise, he would have stayed and mopped the floor with him.
Rayleigh showing up, that's one thing. But he's not swimming that much. Cat, 1064. Wishes, wants, realistics.
Okay, what I want
Fetishes?
is also... No, thank you.
You don't
Not
need
in
to
this.
use-
Not in this one.
No.
My fetish is right there.
Gender bent law, got it.
That's fair.
It is.
She's hot.
What I'm kind of wanting, I could actually see happening.
Mm-hmm.
Cut away to Sabo and or Dragon, and maybe Vivi. That this is such a cliffhanger that I think it's going to cut away from the Law fight. Where it's going to cut to is where I'm torn, whether it's going to go back to Luffy and Bonnie's group, or if it's going to cut to Zoro's group, or if it's going to cut somewhere else completely.
That's what it does.
That realistically, I'm saying it's going to cut away.
All very plausible.
Well, it makes sense either way because now that we're in the final saga, bigger stuff is going to keep chained together more frequently, and we're going to start seeing a lot more big happenings right next to each other, as has been shown ever since Wano ended.
Yeah, I mean, we've also, even before Wano, I feel like there were times where a lot was happening, where everyone split up, and the important aspects of, like, the important character points that will lead to the resolution of the whole thing, like, we bounce between, or at least lead to the next arc resolute. Really...
No, we get you.
I
That's
get
not
what
my
you're saying.
words.
No.
But, that I think we will be bouncing around a bit still. That I don't think we're gonna see more than, like, 3 tops chapters of the same thing happening, continuation, before a new jump.
I mean, I think if we jumped to Kid, who's the last of the 3 billion trio we haven't, heard from, that I think is reasonable at some point.
Yeah,
and if that connects to Sabo, sick.
And he's kind of shown that to be a thing now because he's kind of keeping these groups. He's done basically all supernovas except one.
Yeah.
And he's kind of re-looking at.
He's like,
the
man,
three
I've
that
got
left.
Love, I've got Kid, I've got Luffy. We need to shore this up a bit. Blackbeard meets Law. Perfect. Now they won't ask any more questions about that for a bit.
Aki Inu meets Kid. He's dead.
Kid meets his dad. It's Shanks? ? Leave that there. Oh man. But dude, that's the kind of shocking revelations I need in the final saga, because it's Oda reminding us, yeah, this shit might be over soonish, but that does not mean I'm not going to surprise you every single chapter. I still got it, boy.
Funny little thing. This doesn't have much to do with the chapter, but just a little last thing on my end is I was watching a reaction video to someone like hyping up One Piece for someone who doesn't watch One Piece, and whenever Aokiji appeared, this person would refer to Aokiji as Discount Todoroki. Now, if you know who Todoroki is, he is a character in My Hero Academia who can use half fire and half ice. And I'm like, okay, first of all,
Who said this again?
I can't remember the user, but she was obviously a Todoroki fan.
Yeah.
She's like, is that discount Todoroki? I'm like, all right, first of all, lady.
Yeah. Them.
Todoroki. First of all, the quirks in My Hero are just naturally discount versions of Devil Fruits.
Yeah.
His power will never come close to Aokiji's, and also Aokiji came before like 15 to 20 years before Todoroki.
Look here.
Look here, young lady.
Aokiji is white frozen.
What's up?
Is he white?
Aokiji's black.
He's black.
Okay, so he's frozen then.
There you go.
He is frozen.
Hey, Frozone!
Okay, in the black and white manga.
Who's the guy on the bike? In
Oh, I was like, Aokiji.
Oh, that's Moomin Rider.
Moomin Rider. He's Moomin Rider and Todoroki.
Moomin Rider.
Discount Todoroki. Because
Yeah.
he only gets one ability.
Discount.
And he doesn't throw his bike, so we discount Moomin Rider too.
I guess, yeah, he just very tan.
I love Moomin Rider, so I don't want to shit on him.
Oh, please don't. He's so cool.
He's such a good person.
Yeah, he's better than Aokiji. Cool. Well, those are predictions. Any last thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to 1064 next week?
No?
No?
I think we're...
Bonnie just needs to stand there and be like, Daddy, you are not a gun. You are who you choose to be.
And then Daddy will shoot her.
Yep.
Foxy for the win.
Bye!